What's up everybody, Shane here, and I'm going to show you guys my budget Ken deck. This is the Ken from Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers. You guys may know Miles Tyler, the owner of Legendary Wolf Games. He's played this Ken for like almost a year. So every tournament he's been to, he's always topped with this Ken. So like this is a consistent character. It's a glass cannon, like heavy hyper aggro deck. So we just kind of took his deck and pretty much made it under $30. So it's still super aggressive, tries to kill you turn 2, and it's really fun. So let's get right into it. All right, so the character is Ken. Basically, anytime an attack is played during the enhanced step, you can remove the top 4 cards of your deck from the game. So you remove 2 for stats, then you remove 2 for draw. So normally you want to do these on your attacks, of course, but you can do these on the opponent's attacks as well, just to get more cards in your remove from game pile. So the one ability, you remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game, and you get 1 speed and 3 damage for every attack you remove. So if you hit the Yahtzee and you hit 2 attacks, you get 2 speed and 6 damage. So that's like the dream. You always want to hit that. Now the other ability, you remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game, and then if the attack that's currently being played has the same name as an attack in your remove from game pile, you get to draw 2 cards. So every attack in this deck we play as a 4 of, and then there are also different ways in the deck to remove cards out of your discard pile so that you can trigger this draw 2 and just keep drawing cards and keep drawing attacks and stuff. So yeah, he's the, again, hyper aggro glass cannon character. So let's move on to the attacks. 4 copies of Inazuma, Kakato, Wari. This card is nuts. Like, you want to lead with this card for 2 reasons. Number 1, you always want to enhance with the top ability first. You remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game, and then your opponent cannot play action cards during this attack. So that's enhanced step, block step, and damage step. So that's going to keep your opponent from playing bang on your character. It's going to keep them from like blocking with stop. It's going to keep them from like blocking with any kind of actions, keep them from playing like a Let's Cut Loose or Demon Realm Awakening. Like, this just shuts off actions. And then it also has stun 2, which is great. Like, another reason why you want to open with it, because you lock them out of actions, then you stun 2, you use Ken to give it stats, and then yeah. So also if you have 2 momentum, you can remove them and then look at your opponent's hand and you discard 1 card from their hand. So that's really important because every attack in this deck is a high attack, so you want to discard their high blocks so that they're forced to block with mids and then they can't block with their lows. So yeah, this is the opening attack. Next up, we're gonna talk about Kurubushi Kick. So this attack is mainly the finishing attack. This is what you want to play at the end of a string because that's when it's the most powerful. So first off, you remove the top card of your deck, and then if they attempt to block with the mid zone block, they have to burn for 2 as an additional cost. So that's always nice because they burn for 2 and then they take half damage. And then the bomb ability, you remove the top card of your deck from the game, and the attack is +1 damage for every attack in your removed from game pile. So that's going to scale with Ken. So as you're removing more cards off of your deck to use his abilities and other abilities as well, then this, you can easily get like +10 or more damage off this attack. So that's why you always want to play it last, because that's when it's when it's fueled the most. But there are some situations where you want to lead with it first, because what we're going to get into is another attack that's actually combo kick, and that's VIOLENT Shoryuken. So this card here hits, this is like probably the most powerful attack in the deck. It's also the most expensive card in the deck. It's like $2.50, so it's like $10 for the whole play set. That's like the main meat of the deck. So combo enhance, instead of removing the top 2 cards of your deck from the game, you remove 2 cards from your discard pile from the game, and then every attack you remove, you get 1 speed and 3 damage. So this dual purpose, you can remove for Ken, then remove for VIOLENT Shoryuken and make it big. Also, you can actually cheat the draw with this on Ken, because VIOLENT Shoryuken, you can remove a copy of VIOLENT Shoryuken in your discard pile, and then you remove for Ken to draw 2. So like, this is one of the ways where you can remove cards in your discard pile to help draw with Ken. So yeah, again, it's the strongest attack on the deck. You can give it +2, +6 with this, and then if you're lucky, +2, +6 with Ken, and it's like a 16 damage punch. So yeah, and then the bomb ability is really important too. You remove a momentum, then you add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. So you add any attack, like you just pick up Kurubushi Kick and kill him. So yeah, that's Ken's primary attacks. You have VIOLENT Shoryuken, then Kurubushi Kick, and Inazuma, Kakato, Wari. So these are the kicks that combo with VIOLENT Shoryuken. So now we're going to go over another kick in the deck. This one seems a little weird. 4 copies of Leg Shredder. So this is a flash attack, so you're not going to be able to enhance with Ken, but there's 2 reasons why we play this. Number 1, we have a combo with the VIOLENT Shoryuken. You can like play this, and you basically stun them for 1, and then you hit them with VIOLENT Shoryuken, and then you can combo. But probably the most important one is that when you remove this from the game, you get to ready one foundation. So like if you're in the middle of an attack turn and you remove this, you remove a leg shredder with Ken, you get to ready a foundation, and then just you can use that to pass checks, and like this card just helps you go in more because you get to ready your foundations, and then it just lets you extend your kill turn. Other ways you can remove this, you can remove it with Violent Shoryuken. And then there's also a foundation in the foundation lineup where you can remove this as well. So there's many ways to remove this card. Most of the time you just remove it with Ken, and then you just like, hey, I get to ready a foundation, nice. As well as getting like +1 speed, +3 damage with your ability as well. So yeah, this is another kick in the deck, helps us combo Violent Shoryuken, and it helps us extend our kill turns. Next up we have Shirai Ryu Kan, also dubbed as SRK. So this card here, it combos off of any attack. So you can play this after any attack, and then the combo ability, you add one card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So there's many ways you can do this. So like you can put like a copy of SRK from your discard pile on top of your deck, and then remove with Ken, so that like you're now going to have the copy of it in your remove from game pile, so you can draw to. Like that's something that you can do. You can put any attack on top of your deck and then remove it for damage. But one of the things we find is best with this is you put a 6 check on top of your deck, so that you can play another attack, check a 6. And then, again, this card, along with like the leg shredder, it helps you extend your kill turn because you get to stack your deck with a 6 check, and then you can play like another one of these because it combos off of itself. So you can play like 2 of these in a row and just like remove for Ken, and then stack a 6 check, play another one, remove for Ken, stack a 6 check, play Kurubushi Kick and kill him. So yeah, SRK is one of the best attacks in the deck. Alright, so now we got some other cheap alternatives. We have Bow Flame. So this is nice. This is a card where you can mill the top 4 cards of your deck, and if you hit an attack, then you get to draw a card, and your next check to play an attack gets +1. So this attack is really nice. It's a little slow, so it's probably going to get blocked, but that's fine because every attack in this deck is a high attack. So like eventually they're just going to run out of highs. They'll probably have to block this with the mid, take half. So yeah, this is just great. Also, milling cards in your discard pile also helps because then you can remove them from the discard pile. I'm just going to show you the card now. Explosive Acrobatics. Explosive Acrobatics is the card where we can remove a card from our discard pile and then start getting an advantage with Ken. So like you can, because this is slow speed anyway, you can just remove a card, give it -1 speed, it's whatever. We can like take a Bow Flame, remove it, and then draw with Ken. So this card helps you mill cards in your discard pile, so you can use Explosive Acrobatics to help remove the certain pieces you need for Ken. So yeah, Bow Flame's really good, draws you a card and gives you +1 to your check, does everything that you want to do. Now, this card is a My Hero demo deck card, Explosive Brace. This card is not for sale, because it says at the bottom, not for sale. So you can't buy this card, but this card is free. So basically, if you're interested in playing this deck, I'm going to leave some notes in the description box below, and then it'll show you ways that you can get this card. So anyways, Explosive Brace, another high attack. The Enhance, you discard 2 cards and you draw 2 cards. This is perfect for Ken, because with Ken, you're drawing so many cards. Because of the bomb ability to just draw cards every time you play an attack. So you're gonna draw foundations. You can pitch the foundations away and then like just draw like attacks. Like this is filter for the deck, so you can filter out the cards you don't want for chances at cards that you do want. It also has a +1 low block, which is like really important because the only other low block in the attack lineup is your best opening attack. So yeah, this is a sweet card for the deck. So yeah, Explosive Brace works very well with Ken. So that's all the attacks. We have 4 Explosive Brace, 4 Bow Flame, 4 SRK, 4 Leg Shredder, and then we have 4, wait, where the hell? Where'd my Shoryukens go? Oh, there they are. We have 4 Violent Shoryuken, 4 Inazuma Kakato Wari, and then 4 Kurubushi Kick. Alright, so now let's talk about the foundations. We've already briefly discussed Explosive Acrobatics. So this card helps remove certain cards in your discard pile so you can trigger Ken's ability to just draw cards. So like, you're okay reducing your speed by 1 just to draw 2 cards, because all your attacks are high zone, you're going to overflood that zone, and eventually they're just going to have to take damage. Also on defense, you can just remove foundations from your discard pile and then get -1 speed, so it's easier to block attacks. So Explosive Acrobatics is like one of the best pieces in the deck because it helps you accomplish your goal. And then we have 4 copies of Wishing Ward. This is a spam foundation that's really strong in this deck. So mainly it's momentum hate. You flip this, you mill 3 cards off of your deck, and then your opponent has to discard a momentum. So like it's good on defense because you can keep your opponent off their power plays, but normally you flip this and mill 3 so you get more options in your discard pile so you can remove with Explosive Acrobatics or Violent Shoryuken. So Wishing Ward, very good in the deck. Then we have Azure Nightmare. This is one of the 6-check foundations that you're going to put on top of your deck with SRK. Basically, this card, it counts as 2 foundations because as soon as you commit this, you can pitch a card from your hand to ready it. You can only do it once, but this card helps you go in and extend your kill turn. Also, you can pitch this from your hand and burn your opponent for 1. So if you ever play Explosive Brace, where you can discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards, you can pitch this, burn them for life, and then draw your new options. So this is one of the best pieces in the deck. Again, 6-check for SRK, so you can stack it and then check. But also, you commit these to pass checks, then pitch the extra cards from your hand to ready them, and then you can just go in again. 4 copies of Police Connections. This is just a generically good card. It's another 6-check that you can stack with SRK, but also has a +1 mid block, so it's that's one of the best blocks in the game. So this card it's easy to hold in your hand and just block stuff with. So yeah, just a generically good card in the deck. Alright, now we got 4 Jagan Form. This card is really strong in the deck, so whenever you use Ken and you mill attacks and you get speed and damage, you get speed, right? So then you respond with Jagan Form once per enhanced step after your attack receives a speed bonus, which it did for Ken. The attack gets +1 damage for free, and then your opponent has to reveal a random card from their hand. So you get information and you get free damage. So this card is very strong in the deck because it's just additional damage for free that you get for Ken. Alright, then we have Martial Banana. This card is extremely strong and you commit this and your attack gets damage equal to the number of attacks in your remove from game pile, maximum 5. So normally this is, you commit it for +5 damage. So yeah, it's really good in Ken, just adds more damage in. Then we have I Feel Violent. So mostly you're going to use this for the free speed. You flip this and your attack gets +1 speed for every attack in your remove from game pile, maximum 4. So you can flip this for plus speed, and then it's like Martial Banana, commit for damage, and this is flip for speed. So that's the best reason to use this, but also this is good on defense as well. So you can flip this, and then after your opponent plays a card, it locks it in their card pool until the end of the combat phase. So they can't bounce it, they can't remove it, bring it down. So this is good on defense too. This is sneakily good against a lot of decks. So yeah, 4 copies of I Feel Violent. Now I got 4 copies of Not Over Until You Die. So this card is very good because you flip this and you add 1 attack card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So then you can remove it for Ken for damage, and then you just remove for draw. So you usually stack the attack that you want to remove, and then you remove it for Ken, then you remove for draw. So this is another card that helps you remove the cards that you need as well. And you can also use this to draw a card as well, but that usually never happens because you usually kill them on turn 2 or turn 3. So yeah, 4 Not Over Till You Die. Now we have a couple of technical pieces. 2 copies of Inhuman Speed. This is just a 0-5 spam. It also stops them from gaining life. So if they attempt to gain life on you, you can just burn them for 2 and just say no. So yeah, it's just another zero cost spam. Decent. Now we got 2 copies of Folktale Storyteller. This card's great because you can draw this mid-turn with Ken, because as you're attacking, you're going to be drawing cards. So if you draw this card, you can play it as your next form, then respond, mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and then bring this down into your staging area. So you can build this foundation mid-turn, and then now you have another card to commit to pass checks so you can kill them. So this card just helps you extend and then kill them. You don't really want to play 4 of this because you don't want to see this card in your opening hand. But you usually just want to draw into this, or draw it turn 2 or turn 3 and play it and then bring it down. So it helps you build, it helps you kill them. So I can see putting this a 3 of, but I probably want to play it as a 4 of. Now we got 2 copies of Hellward Bound. So this card, you flip it and you discard 1 card from your card pool. So it helps you keep attacking because it takes an attack out of your card pool, so it doesn't count towards progressive. So this card is very strong in the deck because you can think of it as giving +1 to all your checks to play attacks. So yeah, this card's really good. There's also some sneakily good stuff you can do with Hellward Bound. So let's say you hit him with a kick, then you hit him with a Violent Shoryuken, then you combo, and then they block this or whatever deals damage. You can flip, discard this out of your card pool, and then you just play another Violent Shoryuken, and then you combo again. So this card is pretty nice. There's some cool stuff you can do. Also, you remove your deck a lot with this deck, and then you cycle, and then you remove 10. Once you do that, you can remove this for +3 speed and +6 damage, which can usually be a game ender. So yeah, there's many ways you can use this card, but mainly you want to flip it to discard a card out of your card pool so you can keep attacking them. Then we got one copy of No Surprises, just another 6 check. It's a 0 difficulty spam, helps you play like more cards on turn 1. The ability is also like pretty good in some matchups, like Cassie Cage or anything that people want to stack their deck. You can just check a 4 and then your opponent discards the top card of their deck. So like it kind of ruins their knowledge of the top card of their deck. So yeah, No Surprises, it's pretty decent. It's just a one-off. Alright, so that's the deck. If you're looking for a couple cards that you could like spend a little bit more on to increase the power of the deck, there's a few cards I could recommend. So Fatality is one that you could play. You don't need it, but like you do play it and then you remove cards for Ken and then it goes into your momentum, so it charges your Violent Shoryukens and then it charges your Inazuma Kakato Waris. So like it gets you momentum for like this kind of stuff. You don't need it though. Firefly Gunner is pretty good. So Firefly Gunner, it could be a replacement for Bowflame. So it's just a Firefly Gunner is a strong attack because you can fail checks in there. Like you can fail its check, then you can do like the No Surprises and fail its checks. Like it can get like a lot of damage, and then it's just like a generically good card. Like Firefly Gunner is just like pretty decent stats, and it just gets a lot of damage, which is what you want in Ken. Another card you can get is Unite. Unite is actually very strong in this deck because, again, like it readies foundations, and then it just helps you attack more easily. Like because it helps you go in because you just play it, you ready 2 foundations, and then you just keep on going. So yeah, Unite's really strong in this deck. Only reason it's not in here is because Unite's like it isn't like a budget card, so that's why it's not in here. But if you want to spend the extra money for Unites, I would definitely recommend it. Alright, we're going to do a little solitaire of this deck just to kind of show you how it plays. So, with Ken, you don't really care if you go first or second. Like, if you go second, it's actually fine because your opponent attacks you first, so you can mill cards with your character, and then you just get a head start on your draw, you get a head start on your Kurubushi Kick, and things like that. So, like, it's not bad going second. So, let's just go ahead and give this a shuffle. Alright, give it a cut. And then now, I guess we can roll some dice because it's fun. This is the opponent's roll. They rolled a 6, and this is our roll. We roll a 6, so their roll is going to be a 9, and our roll is a 10. Okay, we're going to go first. So we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play 4 foundations. We have this, and Explosive Acrobatics. I also have a Leg Shredder. We're going to keep this hand. So we just play this on 2. And then we play this on a 2. This is important. On a 3. Safety 3s. This is going to be a 4. Alright, passes. Cool. Sounds good. So then these move down. They play their foundations. Our turn begins. We're going to review Leg Shredder because we can remove that for Explosive Acrobatics. Alright, so what do we got here? This isn't bad. We can Kurubushi them. We have Violent Shoryuken in the discard pile. Okay. Looks pretty good to me. So we're going to go ahead and attack them this turn. So we can combo Violent Shoryuken, or we can poke with a Bowflame. I don't know if we're going to kill him this turn. Let's just see what we can do. We're going to play Kurubushi Kick. 3. Oh, that's great. 4. That is awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to use Ken for damage. So we're going to put these up here. So 1 and 2. Legs. Oh, awesome. We get to ready this. So we get +1 speed, +3 damage. Alright, so then, let's see. They play their enhance, whatever. We're going to remove the top card of our deck. If they attempt to block with the mid block, they burn for 2. Then we're going to use Explosive Acrobatics to remove the Kurubushi Kick. We're going to get -1 speed. Now we have this in the remove from game pile, so we remove 2 for Ken. 1 and 2. We're going to draw 2 cards. So 1. Oh, Jesus. Oh, nuts. Yes. Yes, this deck's so insane. Alright, so now we remove 1 for Kurubushi Kick. We're going to get +4 damage. So yeah, off the bat, look, this is a 10 damage attack. 4 high for 10. So they probably have like 2 or 3 cards in their hand, so let's just say they fully block this. That's fine. So now we play our Folktale Storyteller. Oh, we checked in on the Leg Shredder. Awesome. So now we mill 3. 1, a 2, a 3, and this will go down to our staging area. That'll help us play some stuff. So now we're going to play the Violent Shoryuken because it combos off the kick on a 5. 6, busted. Sounds good. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to remove 2 for Ken for damage. 1, 2, nothing happens. So now we combo then. So we're going to keep the Leg Shredders. We're going to remove Violent Shoryuken, and we're going to remove this SRK, because we're probably playing that attack next. Alright, so it's going to get +2 speed, +6 damage. Alright, so then, let's see. we're gonna remove 2 for Ken now because we have a Violent Shoryuken in our remove from game pile. 1, a Tahu, we get to draw 2 cards. 1, a Tahu, ooh, another SRK, busted, yes, 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 okay. So, they're probably gonna block this. Let's just say they have a mid block, so they're gonna take 5. So we're just gonna count up here, they've taken 5. Now we play SRK on a 6, check a 5, 6, seems good. So now, what we can do, we can use Ken, remove for damage. 1, 2, so we get 1 speed and 3 damage. Let me see if I can stretch this out here. So we're gonna go on a kill turn here. All right, so I got 1, 3. Now we're gonna go ahead and use Azure Nightmare. We throw a card away from our hand and we ready it. So we're gonna discard Azure Nightmare, so they're gonna burn for 1, so they take another damage. Now we're going to use SRK to stack a 6 check on top of our deck. We're going to put that on top of our deck. We're going to give it plus, oh wait, we haven't drawn yet, right, with SRK? I don't think we've drawn yet with SRK. We just move for damage. Yeah, we're going to draw for SRK. So we remove first. 1, 2, we draw 2 cards. 1, 2, all right. Now we use the combo enhance, stack this on top, and then we're going to give it plus damage. Because if they full block this, half block this, I don't even know if they can block this. So let's just say they magically have another card in their hand. They block this, so they're going to take... they half blocks, they take 9, 5, so yeah, they take 5. Now they're taking 11, so now we know a 6 checks on top of our deck, so we play another SRK, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. We're going to commit this Azure Nightmare this time. Alright, so now we are going to remove 2 for damage. 1, oh, the Yahtzee, yes, yes, so 2, 6, busted. Now we're going to remove 2 for draw, because we have SRK there. 1, a Tahu, we draw 2. 1, 2. Alright, so now we're going to discard a card. We're going to discard No Surprises to ready this Azure Nightmare. So yeah, that's going to... Oh, we need a combo still. So we're going to combo enhance, put the 6 on top. Now we give it speed or damage, give it damage, just going deeper. So they probably can't block this at 6 speed. So yeah, they take, what is this, 12? So boom, boom, bing, bing. So that they've taken 23 so far. So now we can go ahead and play, let's see here. We're going to check a 6. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we play, because you're probably dead. Just play bow flame. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have a bow flame up here. So on an 8, 6, 7, 8. So now we can remove 2 for damage. 1, 2, get nothing. Remove 2 for the draw. 1, 2. Draw 2 cards. So 1 and 2. Now we mill 4 for bow flame. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get plus 1 to our check and we get to draw 1 card. Alright. Would be awesome if you had a Kurubushi here, but we don't. So now they're probably going to take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they're 27. So we're just going to have to... We can hit him with a leg shredder. And I'll probably kill him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7. And then 8, yep, and I'll hit him for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 31 damage on turn 2. If we had a Kurubushi Kick, we could have removed and gotten a bunch of stuff. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 12 damage on the Kurubushi Kick. So yeah, that's just kind of a solitaire to show you how this Ken deck works. So what happened that game, we removed the leg shredders and readied, which was really nice. We drew into the Folktale Storyteller and we dropped it. That was pretty nice. And then we pitched an Azure Nightmare to ready Azure Nightmare to burn for 1. So that was pretty sweet. But yeah, we also did the combo, chained the SRK. So yeah, as you can see, this deck is pretty explosive. Like we did all that on turn 2. Now, usually a lot of games you can just like poke them turn 2 and then build again, and then you actually kill them on turn 3. But as you can see, let's just say we were to run out of cards, we'd have to remove 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 left in our deck at the end of turn 3 or beginning of turn 4 or whatever. So yeah, again, this is Glass Cannon Hyper Aggro. If you don't kill him by turn 3 or maybe turn 4, then you probably lost. But as you can see, like the offense is so good in the deck and everything's a high attack. So like eventually you're going to bust through and then just deal damage unanswered. So yeah, super fun deck. All right, everybody, that is my Budget Ken deck list. So as you saw, it's a hyper aggro deck. You can kill him turn 2. Turn 3 is probably where you want to kill him at. It's more realistic, but yeah, it can do a lot of damage turn 2. And for how inexpensive this deck is, it's pretty strong. I went on legendarywolfgames.com and priced out all of the cards. and it looks to be a $28 deck, so it's under 30 bucks, which is great. The most expensive card is Violent Shoryuken, which is 10 bucks for the playset. Everything else is just very cheap. So yeah, Ken is a really good character because the amount of aggression that he puts out can be overwhelming for almost any deck. So he generally has good matchups against like most decks. So yeah, if you're interested, give it a shot. Again, that one attack card, Explosive Brace. This card is not for sale, but check the description and I'm gonna post some ways where you can get that card. So if you're interested in building this deck, be sure to check out the description box below and maybe we can help you out. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching my Budget Ken deck profile. This video is sponsored by LegendaryWolfGames.com. Get all of your UFS cards and other TCG singles at LegendaryWolfGames.com.
What?
.com.